Hi guys, this is Jerry. Welcome to the podcast. So, we're gonna get started. This is the very first episode, so I just wanted to introduce the channel to you guys. This channel is all about esoteric, occult, and spirituality to help you live your best life and to release knowledge and truth into the public that needs to be known, especially this year. And this first episode, I really wanted to talk about the Golden Age because we are currently in the initiation process of the Golden Age. So we're going to talk about that. Just a disclaimer about this channel, and if you are a person that is easily triggered, I would say that this is probably not the channel for you because I am going to be talking about information, highly spiritual content, occult knowledge that is not really known by the general public. Hopefully, with this podcast, we can make it more known and we can help people elevate to their highest selves. But if you are a person that is easily triggered, or you're easily angered, or you're easily saddened, just like any of those lower emotions, then this is not the podcast for you. But I'm guessing if you watch this, you're part of the soul family and you're ready to hear this, or you already know about this. I'm just trying to integrate it more into your subconscious. So today we're going to talk about 2024. We're going to talk a little bit about 2025, but mainly what is happening in 2024. Okay, so 2024 is the Blue Dragon year, if you're familiarized with Asian zodiac, and according to the Korean zodiac, this is the Blue Dragon. There are 4 deities in Korean mythology, and there is the Blue Dragon, the White Tiger, the Red Phoenix, and the Black Tortoise. So the Blue Dragon is a guardian of the East. It is one of the guardians that gets rid of or protects from evil spirits. So that is basically what Asian zodiac or mythology sums this year as. So this year is a very powerful year. It is also the 8th year, so the number 8. 2024, if you add it together, it is the 8th year. So what does 8 mean? 8 means transformation. It means flipping the earth and the heaven. So basically, we were on the earth plane, and then we can flip it. We're going to experience heaven on earth because of that 8, that rotation. This is supposed, and it really is the most transformative year ever for humanity and human consciousness. A lot of us have been feeling it. A lot of us have been noticing it. I would say that if you haven't been noticing it, you might have been feeling it because there have been a lot of changes in the public space, astrological space, and just in different spaces that I can't really think of right now. But this is supposed to be the big year where humanity does rise in consciousness. So I wanted to talk about astrology, and I'm not an astrologist, but I just wanted to name a few of the events, or actually a little bit more than a few of the events that have happened this year, so you guys can get like a picture. And the reason why I want to talk about astrology is it was a science that was deeply embedded into our ancient civilizations. It's deeply embedded in who we are, but now it's seen as an occult practice. It's seen as woo-woo magic. It's not really a part of who we are anymore. And I think the reason why it was written of is because if we really knew astrology, if we knew how to read the stars, if we really knew how the alignments are placed, every month, every week, every day, we would know ourselves a heck of a lot better. And to be honest, like, I'm not really good with astrology, so I just listen to a lot of experts that are really good with astrology. So in this podcast, I'm going to play information from experts because I am not an expert, so I will be showing clips and videos. But first off, I wanted to list off and tell you guys some of the big events that have happened this year. So January 3rd and 4th, there was a meteor shower. So right off the bat, in the beginning of the year, we had a shower. March 25th, we had a penumbral lunar eclipse. April 8th, and we had a new moon and a total solar eclipse. So just having a new moon and a total solar eclipse is a really big energy. New moon means that it's in total darkness. A total solar eclipses are known to bring about change, to get rid of darkness, evil on the planet. And I like to think of eclipses like an acupuncture point, a point that needs to be, there's some points of the earth that needs to be in darkness, and there's some points that need to be pointed out with light. And that's how I think of eclipses. There are specific points and magnetic lines that need light and that need to be in darkness. And eclipses also kind of represent the subconscious mind. Because whatever is in your subconscious, it's going to be coming out. All of that darkness that you've just been putting in the unconscious and your subconscious knows about, it's going to be coming up like pus. So all the evil, all the darkness is going to come out. On an individual level, during eclipses, it's a time of reflection. It's a time to usher in change. If you have done evil to other people, then that's going to come back and it's going to strike you because it is a highly transformative time and you were kind of like not a part of the change. You were the one that was hurting other people. Maybe you were hurting yourself. So those are the things that we need to think about during eclipse time. Okay, September 18th. So just this past month, we had a full moon, a super moon, and September 18th was also a partial lunar eclipse. So just in that self, it was a super moon. It was a partial lunar eclipse. And this means that pivotal changes, pivotal things are going to happen for humanity. Just like I told you, eclipses are meant to get rid of the evil, to cleanse parts or points of Earth. And that just recently happened. I also want to mention September 29th. So September 29th, we had two moons. So I'm going to play a clip right now of the two moons. Okay, so as you guys saw in the video, there are two moons that were up in the sky. So if you look at articles online, there's a lot of scientists that are going to say, or a lot of science articles or scientific experts that are going to say that it was just an asteroid. But this extra moon came into our orbit to tell us that something is changing. There are things that are being revealed this year, and I kind of know that it was a true moon. It was like not a fake moon, or it wasn't an asteroid, because I did, TMI, did have my period twice this month. So it's just like, kind of like, I kind of know that it really was two moons up in the sky. honestly, this isn't public knowledge, and I think that if you guys are just hearing this for the first time, you just have to take into consideration that a lot of things are being hidden from us for reasons. But I just got confirmation that there definitely was 2 moons because I did get my period. And the moon is definitely a feminine energy. So if you're a woman, you probably did get your period twice, or you missed your period, or something irregular happened during September 29th. If you guys did, please let me know in the comments. Okay, let's talk about October, and then I'm gonna play the astrology expert. Okay, October 2nd, we had an annular solar eclipse. So we had another eclipse yesterday, so I'm filming this on October 3rd, and we had an eclipse yesterday, so it's just kind of like back to back. We're having these eclipses. And why are these eclipses happening in 2024? It's because it is changing the energy on Earth, and it's letting us know that permanent changes are coming towards Earth. The sun is working with us. It's sending us genetic downloads. It's sending us solar information into our DNA to help change us and help change the planet, because there is going to be an expansive change first in our consciousness and then with the whole planet. All right, October 17th, we're going to have a full moon, and it's going to be a super moon. So again, a lot of crazy things are going to happen. When I think of a full moon, I kind of think of it as like a portal. So that's when I start to try to manifest the things that I want in my life. And guys, if you have noticed this past year, it is a lot easier to manifest. It is a whole lot easier. If you haven't been taking time to be intentional or being focused on your manifestations, I would say that you still have time. October 17th is a full moon, and that is an open portal for you to visualize, for you to be intentional about what you would like your life to look like. November 15th. So I'm going to end it here, and then we're going to watch the clip. November 15th is also a full moon. It is also a super moon. So we've had 3 super moons so far, and super moons means that the moon is just closer to the earth, but that portal is so big, guys. It means there's changes that are going to be happening for all of humanity, and they're happening for you. It's just you need to be focused, you need to be intentional, and you need to tell the universe what you would like to happen in your life, how you would like to heal, how you would like to transform. Okay, we're gonna watch this video. We're gonna watch this video called Top Astrologer Pam Gregory, and it is about the major 2024-2025 shift.
It's all about breaking the habit of what we've been doing in the past so that we can repattern our life. And when we find new patterns, then we create new stories, we create new opportunities. And one of the questions that I know that you've asked many of your guests on your channel is, do you see this as the biggest jump for humanity
100%.
in our history? I'm curious to know what you have to say.
I mean, I sense it in my bones. I asked Dr. Jude Caravan that question because she's a visionary cosmologist, and she said absolutely 100%. I asked somebody else that. I think it was Jim Self. Yep.
Yeah.
And he said absolutely. So, I've asked people who I think have some authority and greater experience than me, and they say, yeah, absolutely 100%. And everybody I've heard talking about this evolutionary jump says the same. This is unique. So it'd be a shame to make a pig's ear of this evolutionary jump. It's special.
For the final trio, the first one I wanted to ask you is, what are the greatest truths that are being revealed right now that most of the population does not know about?
Who we are as humans. who we are as humans, who we are as humanity, I think that's going to come as quite a shock. That we are way more powerful than we ever believed, we've ever been encouraged to believe. That I think is going to be one of the biggest shocks, that all that we've ever understood to be true historically may not have been the case.
Who really are we as humans?
I think we're galactic beings. We are loving, benevolent galactic beings who have so much to offer in our infinite journey of the soul.
I love that. Beautiful. Second question is, what does a revolution of love look like in ourselves and in the world?
Wow. Yeah, because Dr. Jude Caravan talks a lot about this as well. I think it's, we typically think of a revolution as being very loud, with lots of, billboards and shouting and potentially quite violent and clashing. It's not like that at all. It's from the heart. And that the force of our love, our electromagnetic heart love, becomes like a tsunami. It becomes so powerful that we come together in coherence like a tsunami of love. It's a tsunami of very high frequency electrical energy lived from the heart. That because it's so high frequency, it changes the quantum wave structure for what we are attracting in our future. And that's happening already. That's unstoppable. I mean, there's no way anybody can stop that. And therefore, the old that you would have protested about in the old way just falls away, it just crumbles because there's no energy to it.
Okay guys, so that was the video. I highly recommend that you guys go check out Pam. She does do astrologic updates on her channel, and I love watching her because I fully understand what is happening that week or whenever a supermoon does come or an eclipse does come. Okay, so we watched that, and basically there is more experts, there are more people talking about this evolutionary year. So this year, 2024, is definitely going to rise in consciousness just because a lot of people have been waking up. A lot of people have been tapping into that love frequency. There is no other choice, guys. Like, if your family, if your friends have not woken up yet, it's nothing to be scared about for them, but it is going to happen to us. We are going to move on to the next level. We are going to the golden age. Whether or not someone is awake or not, either they're going to wake the heck up or they're not going to be really a part of the next civilization. And that's the part where it kind of gets tricky, because there are some people that really love the Matrix. They really love consumerism. They really love all the traps that were placed on humanity. It's not really their fault. They're kind of ignorant and innocent. But at the same time, if you're going to wake up, it's going to be this year. And if you're going to move on to the transcendence of humanity, it's going to be a lot of peace, a lot of love. Our human DNA is changing from carbon to crystalline DNA. So that means that we are evolving as a species. We are going to be very godlike on Earth. We are going to be very loving, just like in past civilizations, like on Atlantis, Lemuria. And there is no choice, guys. Like, this has been set up by our ancestors. This has been an ongoing thing. I would say that the Golden Age is basically a thing that the onslaught of it, or basically the biggest initiation of it, probably started in 2019. And in 2019, we all know that there was a pandemic, and the pandemic was not real. I think if you're watching that, you can kind of realize, or you kind of already know, that the pandemic was fabricated, because the people that are in control, these dark forces that have been manipulating people, that have been keeping this veil, this matrix up, have been making sure that we don't wake up, and the pandemic was definitely a part of that conclusion that we don't wake up. But it failed. A lot of people did wake up during the pandemic, and a lot of people went down into their sorrows, and I don't know. I think it was kind of like very polarizing. Either you were very in tune with your inner self, or you just kind of went down into deeper depths of the matrix or your own depression. I wanted to talk about the Yuga Cycles. So the Yuga Cycle is basically a Vedic, I don't know what you would call it. It's basically from the Vedics, and it's basically tracking the cycles of humanity. And honestly, guys, if you look at the cycles, the cycle is 25,000 years, 25,800 years. So that just lets you know, as a species, we have been on this earth for a long time. And a lot of the science is going to say, oh, we've been here for a couple millions of years. But I honestly want to beg to differ and say that we've probably been here for billions of years. The planet has changed a lot. This earth that we have been on has changed a lot. We can see that with all the different climate change, and which is natural, and we can just like know about it from past ancient civilizations that they lived in paradise. It was like basically like a jungle. It was basically tropical in the beginning of Earth. Okay, so I want to go over the Yuga cycles. So there are 4 Yuga cycles. I'm going to read it off. So Sata Yuga is the golden age that we're going into. Treta Yuga is the silver age. Dwarapara Yuga is the bronze age. And Kali Yuga is the iron age. I am not an expert, but I highly recommend you guys go watch any sort of video about this, because it will enlighten you and let you know what is going on. We have been in a Kali Yuga. So a Kali Yuga, according to the Vedic tradition, is the Iron Age. So a lot of people have been unconscious. They are unaware of their God selves. And that is totally fine. That is a part of the cycles. We're supposed to go into cycles of consciousness and unconsciousness. But unfortunately, a group of people took advantage of the fact that a lot of the world was asleep. We were asleep, so they took advantage of that, and they kind of made the planet into a nightmare. They made it into a nightmare. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because it's over. It's over. So, for about 2,700 years, 2,000 years, these past 2,700 years, we have been in a Kali Yuga, and we are now breaking out of that into the Golden Age. So, if you are a person that have been asking themselves, why do I hate my job? Why do I feel like the education system sucks? Why do I feel like the hospital system is just out to kill people for money? If you are this person that kind of observes what is happening in the world, you're probably like the 1 or 3% that are kind of noticing like this is kind of like a prison. And even if you're in a first world country like America, there is still a lot of contracts, still a lot of barriers for you. Honestly, I would say there are a lot more barriers if you're in a first world country. And your soul has probably been really agitated for a long time. So I would say at this point in time, if you're aware of these things and you know what has been happening, you know that the hospital system is dying, you know the education system is dying, you can feel it in your bones, you can feel it everywhere you walk, you know that the system is dead. I would just say that keep telling yourself that, and if you have the courage, talk to other people about it, because it will just bring more awareness. Like, hey guys, like, do we notice that we're all tired of this shit? We're all kind of tired of this shit. Like, this is not working. And the reason why we're tired is because our soul is desperately telling all of us, like, this is done. And in order for this whole system to go down, is there needs to be a rise in consciousness for the majority, or at least for a number of people's, so that the system can die and we can move on to the golden age. So that is the Kali Yuga that we have been going through. We are going to go into the Sata Yuga, whether you like it or not. I would say to help yourself, to prepare yourself, you should be cleansing your body. You should be cleansing the mind. You should be walking out into nature, getting in tune with nature. If you're in the city, you should do your best to go to drive out to nature and connect with it. And this episode, I'm basically talking about the end times, and I'm basically talking about the apocalypse. When I say the apocalypse, it is not to scare anybody. The reason why this fear-based of the apocalypse came up is because of the depiction of the Romans. And the Romans, if you just look it up online, you guys will see that the Romans just think, oh, the gods are going to come down and kill us, or there's going to be hellfire, or there's going to be great catastrophes over the world. And yes, there are going to be weather events and catastrophes, but if you are a person within a consciousness and you are sure of yourself, then why would you be scared? Why would you let the evildoers use your fear once again for their benefit? So this year is not a year to be afraid, no matter what happens. And I also wanted to talk about what apocalypse means. And apocalypse means uncovering or revelation. So just in the word itself, things are going to be uncovered. So we're going to see a lot of the shit. We're going to see a lot of the pus from all this darkness that has been wrapped over the earth. And it's going to be shocking for a lot of people. A lot of things have been done to children. There are dark entities, aliens that have been on the earth, and they've been colluding with the dark forces, or the group of people that have been trying to keep us in this unconsciousness, to give them our power. So this uncovering needs to happen for humanity. We need to start seeing all the truths. I think if you guys are updated with, I don't know, celebrity news, I'm not really that updated, but I do see it on my algorithm. Sometimes I will see what's happening to celebrities, and I'm like, okay, so the Aquarius Age is all about the truth. The truth is going to be revealed, and it's going to be revealed in a very just-like way. Okay, so next thing I wanted to talk about was ancient prophecies, of talking about this new age that is coming. So let me just read you guys a quote. This is a divine prophecy by H.G. Sridhara Srinivasa Prabhu. All glories, all glories, all glories to the devotees of the Lord. All the inauspiciousness and curses of the living entities are destroyed. No one is going to hell. Yamahara has no work anymore. Yamahara is kind of like the Grim Reaper, and the ill effects of Kali Yuga have ceased to exist. I behold something wonderful all over the world, an increasing number of devotees of Karalavana, the bluish-black complexion Lord Krishna, sings his names while dancing and playing musical instruments. Okay, there are many yogis that are coming out with their prophecies. There are many highly spiritual beings or people that are on this planet. They're all indicating that we are waking up. The Kali Yuga is not going to exist anymore. And guys, what do you think is going to happen when the consciousness finally raises and we're going to be our most evolved and superior selves? Well, we're going to have a party, guys. So in 2025, I would highly say for sure there's going to be a lot of parties, and that's what he's saying in his prophecy. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys a TikTok, and this is Thoth the Atlantean. This is also an ancient prophecy. Thoth the Atlantean wrote the Emerald Tablets. Honestly, this is the OG. So we're going to listen to his prophecy talking about the apocalypse. And again, I told you guys the apocalypse is just this new revelation before we go on into the golden age.
Aye, man, after ye have gone, others shall move in the places ye lived. Knowledge and wisdom shall all be forgotten, and only a memory of gods shall survive. As I to thee am God by my knowledge, so ye too shall be gods of the future because of your knowledge far above theirs. Yet know ye, that all through the ages man shall have access to law when he will. Ages to come shall see revival of wisdom to those who shall inherit thy place on this star. They shall, in turn, come into wisdom and learn to banish the darkness by light. Yet greatly must they strive through the ages to bring unto themselves the freedom of light. Many who are bound in darkness shall strive to hold others from light. Then shall there come unto man the great warfare that shall make the earth tremble and shake in its course. Aye, then shall the dark brothers open the warfare between light and the night. When man again shall conquer the ocean and fly in the air on wings like the birds. When he has learned to harness the lightning, then shall the time of warfare begin. Great shall the battle be twixt the forces, great the warfare of darkness and light. Nation shall rise against nation, using the dark forces to shatter the earth. Weapons of force shall wipe out the earthmen, until half of the races of men shall be gone. Then shall come forth the sons of the morning, and give their edict to the children of men, saying, O man, cease from thy striving against thy brother. Only thus can ye come to the light. Cease from thy unbelief, O my brother, and follow the path and know ye are right. Words of Thoth, the Atlantean priest king. Emerald Tablet number 12.
Oh, that was Thoth's prophecy on the apocalypse. And after listening to that, you might be like, okay, well, it seems like we're going to go through another war. But we've already been through many wars in the past. And there are many wars that are also going on spiritually that we can't see at the moment. But one thing I wanted to point out was, cease from thy striving against thy brother, only thus can he come to the light. So, all of the battles have already been fought. We've already been going through this cycle of killing each other, trying to find out who are the people that are controlling us, who are the people that are keeping the unconsciousness upon the earth. And the point is, we should not be fighting against each other, especially if we don't know who the perpetrators are, who the evildoers are. The only way we can come to the light, we can restore light and revive the earth, is with light and love. And this love frequency is the thing that will take out and purge out all the evil that is on the earth. And that is what we are currently doing. There is There is no battles, there is no nation against nation that needs to happen in order for this to happen. There is no wars, there is no big World War 4 or 5 that needs to happen. It is just the revolution inside of your heart. It is just raising your frequency so other people can feel it. And this evil has already lost, guys. I'm going to talk about who they are in another podcast. But these evil brothers that have been on the earth confusing us, making us battle against each other, making us terrorize our own brothers, our own kin, our own blood folk, they are going to be washed out with the Aquarian Age. So there's not a lot to worry about. And if you look at some astrologers, they will say 2025 is a year of a lot of war, a lot of battles that might happen, but that is totally not true. And if you guys listen to Pam talked about this is the time of transcendence for humanity. So if you would like to be a part of that transcendence, I would say you need to keep the love frequency up. Do not be afraid, because that is what they like to do. They like to harness our fear. They like to harness this energy so they can feed off of it, the loosh. And this is what has been keeping us all asleep. So do not be afraid of any battles, even if there is some fabricated war or battle like they have been showing on the news. That is not for you to react, because when you start reacting towards, these fabricated events or these battles or these wars, then they're just going to harness your fear. They're harnessing your energy, and they're just going to use it for their power. So a lot of these battles that Thoth has been talking about have already happened. We've already won the majority of these battles. And all it takes is for us to be in that frequency to help other people open their eyes. All right, I am going to continue with the experts because I think it's really important in this video that you guys get different perspectives from different people. And it will kind of like embed into your subconscious, like, okay, this is happening, I need to start preparing myself, I need to make sure that my consciousness will raise and everything will be pure and I won't be afraid, and I'm gonna go out and hug trees and I'm going to speak kind words to everybody as much as I can, even if I don't like that person or that person is way too much. Okay, so there are two spiritual masters and teachers that I would like to share with you guys, and they are talking about this apocalypse / Aquarian Age. I'm going to play like 1 or 2 minutes, and they both come from different backgrounds, but these are definitely the OG masters teachers. Masters, these are highly spiritual people, basically gods on earth. So I'm going to play the first one, William Donahue, Doorway to Aquarius. And I would like you guys to just listen to what he's saying about the changes and what is happening.
What is basically the aspect of Aquarius that you and I would say we're experiencing now and will experience? What has been a mystery will be revealed as the consciousness of man is enlightened. I had one person come up to me this morning, I had 5, saying they are seeing things that fly out of this book and out of this story of Exodus that they never even conceived could be possible in the past. You begin to understand what these things mean. I don't know whether it was Tom Benson, I think it was. He couldn't wait to tell me that he was in the parking lot at the ShopRite shopping center and drove by the health food store and slammed on the brakes of his car. There was a sign on the front door of the health food store saying, "We have melatonin." Yeah, melatonin. So now they're selling it in stores and advertising it. How long ago was it when we first understood that melatonin was secreted by the pineal gland of the brain? Who knew? That's a very interesting thing, too, because that pineal or pineal gland of the brain is the single eye, in which Jesus said, practice the single eye, and your body will be filled with light, and among other properties, melatonin is a skin lightener. So, it fulfills itself in the prophecies of the Scripture, and then it starts to fulfill itself in the everyday lives of people. Why is melatonin important today? Because it's secreted by the pineal gland or the pineal gland of the brain. Why is the pineal gland of the brain important? Because it is the symbol of Aries in the brain, and that means it is consumed by the sun or the sacrifice lamb of Passover. Why is Passover? Because we are passing over into the new age of Aquarius, and it all fits and all the pieces fit together to the point where melatonin, which is secreted by the pineal gland, is now being advertised on the doors of health food stores. We have no with one another, and all you have to do is get two guys like Saddam Hussein and George Bush to shake hands with one another, and that's the end of the killing. It's all over. You don't have to worry about it, because the people that are killing each other don't even know each other. They're not mad at one another. They're just killing each other because these two guys said to do it. So then Aquarius simply has to touch that. It's just like in your house, whoever is causing the trouble, all it has to do is infect the mind of that one person, and everything becomes calm and everything changes. And that's the beautiful part of all this. The prophecy then of Aquarius is placed and contained within the power of renewed thought and mental healing. And it is a fulfillment of Jehoshua, the Christ Jesus, who taught the kingdom is within you. That means the power of the universe is within people. And as it comes to life and resurrects itself, it can change things, and it will change things. I mean, dramatically change things. Dramatically change things. I'll tell you something. You are seeing an infection. Let's take the word back, not an infection. Let's say a movement of this Aquarian revolution in this country, right? In very subtle, very gentle, silly little ways. But if you read your paper, turn your TV on, you'll see in some key cities in the United States, now this is during election time, I don't know when you're seeing, you'll see in some key cities in the United States, Republican politicians all of a sudden supporting Democrat politicians.
Okay guys, so that was William Donahue, and I think he's very brilliant. He's very brilliant, and he just kind of explained what I was trying to explain, is the Aquarian Age is going to cleanse the mind very greatly, and it's starting to do that through the whole population of people. And you are probably one of those people who have been able to see things a lot more clearly. And you're like, why would I fight with that person? Why would I fight against my own brother? We're not going to do that anymore because we're ready for the next evolution. And this Aquarius Age allows us to have these revelations before it initiates, before the Golden Age initiates, because we need to see all the dirt that has been going on. And you guys have probably already been seeing it, like the pharmaceutical companies selling us things that we naturally can make in our own bodies. Our body is beyond a supercomputer. It is beyond AI. It is the pinnacle of every technology, any technology you could ever think of, and everything that tries to supplement or tries to imitate our bodies is just, I don't even know what to say it is. It is just of low caliber. It is low quality. It can never reach our bodies. So I would say use the wisdom of your body, tap into it, listen to your body. If you guys are currently taking any medications, try to wean off of it. Try not to use it as much. If it's okay with you guys, if you feel like you can do it. But Aquarian Age, everything will be cleansed. Your eyes will be cleansed. The third eye will finally be able to be cleansed and awaken for a lot of people. Okay, we're gonna go to the next spiritual master, and his name is Dr. Malachi Z. York. I think you guys all know who he is. Honestly, guys, this guy is probably one of the most powerful masters, spiritual masters or teachers I've ever come across. So I would like to share his words with you guys. And if you guys notice, in the two speakers, they do refer to the Bible. But the reason why they refer to the Bible in these end times is because a lot of us have been indoctrinated, so they need to use the Bible to pick it apart and tell you guys what it actually is saying, because the Bible has been mishmashed, it has been used against us, and yeah, so I'm not gonna play. Honestly, I would highly suggest you guys watch this whole video to understand what is going on, but I'm just going to play the very end of his lecture on Revelations in the Bible. And yeah, let's go ahead and listen to it.
Falling out the sky and the sun and moon being blocked. You know, if the sun was cut off from the earth within 15 minutes, you would freeze to death. Number 30. And then shall appear the sign of what?
The Son of Man.
Where?
In heaven.
That is the formation of the constellations. The sign of the Son of Man appearing is going to be that. You want to see it.
And then shall
all the tribes of the earth mourn.
And they shall see
the Son of Man coming in clouds of heaven
with power
and great glory. That's from Daniel. You see that?
Yes, sir.
That's the mothership. That's the elders. Sananda is there. Sananda is Jesus' real name. Sananda is there. He's with them, but so is Elijah, and so is Jeremiah, and so is all the rest of the great prophets. They're there. After the world is about ready to destroy itself, you're going to see that ship come forth. And what else?
And he shall seal the right angels.
And he shall send.
And he shall send the right
his angels
with a great sound of a trumpet.
And that angels, as I told you, around about the throne, are nothing but extraterrestrials. But the sound of the trumpet is mentioned in the Holy Quran, chapter 20, verse 102. On the day when the trumpet is blown, we shall gather the guilty blue-eyed on that day. Remember that one? That trumpet is the same trumpet, and that angel is Raphael, who holds the trumpet to blow for the judgment of the world.
And they shall gather together his elect.
That means 144,000 will be gathered and be prepared to be taken away.
From the four winds.
Remember the four ships, the four corners that are holding back the wind so the world doesn't destroy itself?
From one end of heaven to the other.
That means they'll travel intergalactically. They will leave this atmosphere and go straight on the other side of the black hole. See? I don't want to get that to get heavy. Let's finish this.
Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is
near. Means near. He's telling us that this end of the world is symbolic of a fig tree. When you start seeing the signs of its leaves, you better know that the fruit is going to grow. All the things that we mentioned, rumors of wars, pestilence, diseases, and famine, those are the leaves on the fig tree blossoming. That means that this judgment is very near. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
So likewise, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors.
That's clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be what?
Fulfilled.
You aren't going anywhere. This generation is not going anywhere until you get all of those plagues. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. You see that?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
But at that day and
that
an hour
knoweth
no man, no,
not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. The only one that knows the exact hour of judgment is the Heavenly Father. The angels don't even know. We can't tell you when it's going to end. Only Allah Ta'ala knows the exact moment. Go ahead.
But as the days of Noah
that's right. As in the days of Noah
were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
What happened to Noah? Noah went around warning people about the end of the world, warning people about a delusion. They called him crazy. Of course they called him crazy. He was building a boat out in the desert. Didn't that look crazy? Well, that's how we look building this tabernacle in the middle of New York City, telling people to stop having a good time and put on white and learn to pray. Of course we look crazy. Of course they'll say you're only brainwashed. Of course they're going to persecute you for wanting to be an answer, put a veil on your face, and walk around in a white long dress every day, a male or a female. Of course they're going to say you're nuts, because that's what they did to Noah. Noah came and said, it's going to rain 40 days and 40 nights. They said in the desert, good. That means our crops will grow.
Okay guys, so that was Dr. Malachi Z. York, and he really broke it down. I only showed you guys maybe about 4 minutes. I highly suggest you watch everything because he does break down the end times, and it is not a period to be afraid of. I'm just gonna keep saying that throughout this whole entire podcast. But there are things that I do want to point out that he did talk about. And he talks about the Son of Man. So if you are from a religious background, you probably heard this many times. There is a Son of Man that is going to come and save us all. But as he points out in the video or in his lecture, this is the formation of constellations, or of the constellation, the Son of Man, that will come and that we will see, basically ushering us into this new age. He mentions the mothership, and this mothership that is coming is basically our elders helping us usher in this new age, the sound of the trumpet. And he does point out these are extraterrestrials that I did mention in this podcast. So the existence of these extraterrestrials will be revealed, and it is coming. So if this is your first time hearing it, just mentally prepare yourself, because to be honest guys, why would they not be here? Why would they not be here? They have been here for a while, colluding and taking advantage of our unconsciousness for a long time. Another thing that he mentions is the 144,000 will be taken away to the other side, intergalactically. I will talk about that in a different podcast, but there is the mention of 144,000 chosen ones that will be taken. And other things that he does mention is the fig tree. So the fig tree is a symbol. It is the symbol of peace, prosperity. And there are symbols that are going to be dropped in our face on television and social media, and these symbols of the fig tree are going to be war and diseases, and that means that the golden age is going to come, because they're trying to sidetrack us, and they're trying to tell us, oh, guess what, we're going into World War 4 or 5 or whatever, but that's not is what gonna happen. And then he ends with Noah, and Noah warns people that the apocalypse is going to happen. For us, there is going to be an apocalypse, but it is not going to be a time of war or flooding. It's not going to be wiping out the whole earth with fire or water. It is the ushering of a new age. And the reason why I wanted to make this podcast is to show you guys there are many of these signs that we see on television, because they have to show us on television what they're going to try to do before the human consciousness does rise. and they're not going to succeed. They have already lost, because a lot of us are already waking up. Our ancestors are already on our side, and they've already won the war on the spiritual side. So there is no way that we can't win. It's just a matter of whether you're going to be a part of the golden age or not. And you can do that by raising your consciousness. And you might seem like the crazy one. Like me doing this podcast, I might seem like the crazy one telling you guys that we need to get ready for the golden age. You need to start preparing your mind, body, and soul for these new changes, for you to have your spiritual abilities and powers back, because they have been subjugated for a long time. But you need to be okay with being seen as crazy, because the rest of the people that are around you, I kind of see it as them being kind of like babies. They're still kind of asleep. They're still asleep. They don't know what's happening. And I know there are people that are watching this or listening to this that have been seeing the signs. They know changes are happening. You can feel it inside of yourself. And you can feel it in maybe your spiritual abilities have been very heightened. They have been on point this past year. And that is just a symbol showing that the fig tree is going to appear. The golden age is going to appear. So I wanted to talk about these symbols or these things that have been happening this past year on the political level, and just basically what's been happening to us. I've already talked about astrology, but I also want to talk about politics. I don't really want to talk about this, but I'm going to have to talk about this because the evidence is really straight in our faces about what is happening. Okay, the first thing I want to mention, and I'm not sure if this is going to be shocking to a lot of you guys or if you guys have already noticed. If you're watching this, you probably have already noticed. But there are political candidates that are running. The first one is Joe Biden. And I'm going to show you guys this photo of Joe Biden. And as you guys can see in the photos, his appearance changes drastically. So his earlobe is attached and then his earlobe is not attached. As we all know, it doesn't take a scientist to comprehend that you can't just attach and reattach your earlobe surgically without scars or without stitches that fast. But why does this man's face change all the time? Why does his height change? If you guys notice, his height changes at different times. So that leads us to believe that these people that are playing Joe Biden are not Joe Biden. That leads us to believe that the political campaigning is actually a show. And if you're listening to this, this might not be a surprise to you, but it is a whole big show. And it can lead us to also believe that there is not going to be an election. Why would we continue to feed a system that has kept our consciousness in slavery for so long? They have not told us who we are, where we have come from for so long. So they have to put on a stage show to lead the masses to believe that this is real. But it's really not. It is not real. And if I find a picture, I will also show you guys like photos of, I'll put like a photo up here of Kamala Harris as well. Her features or her face changes a little bit too, and her stature or her height changes, leading us to believe that she also is just another stage character. And I wanted to show you guys this video of her earrings. I don't know if I'll play it or not because I don't want this podcast to be too long, but I'll just talk about it here really quick. Is her earrings that she is wearing, a lot of people are saying that her earrings have an audio device, and these specific earrings, if you put them on, nobody on the outside can hear what's going on in the earrings, but they specifically allow her to hear whatever is going on in her earring. So only she is the one that can hear what's going on. Guys, I am telling you all of this because it is all a stage show. Do not believe everything that you are watching on the television. Do not be afraid. Do not react to it. That is what they tried to do during the pandemic. They were trying to make us afraid and react to things so they can harness our energy and use it against us. Because if you are afraid, your vibration lowers and they can easily manipulate you in any way. Should we be scared that Joe Biden is not real? Should we be scared that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are played by many different people? No, we should not. We should be laughing about it because that is just the indication that we are on the verge of the golden age, us moving into truth, justice. I didn't mention it, but this upcoming or this October 2nd solar eclipse was in Libra. So it was full of justice. It was revealing things to us, revealing things about ourselves, revealing the evil doers that are doing this. I would highly suggest that if you are consuming material online, if you are consuming politics, try not to, or do it at your discretion. Try to notice the symbols, the codes that they're flashing in front of our faces. Try to notice these things that they're showing us that the majority do not know about, and log it into your mind. Be clear about it, because that is what the Aquarian Age is about. Basically clearing all the evil for the new. And that is exactly what is happening. They have to put on a bunch of stage shows before we go into this new age to try to scare us, to try to keep us from our true selves, our higher selves, our God selves. But it is not going to work. It is not going to work. So I'm going to end it on a positive note, and I want to say thank you guys for listening to me. Thank you guys so much. If you guys have been listening to this, I truly know that we are moving on into a better era. The humanity that we're moving into is going to be full of love, and I feel very grateful and appreciative that I have so many great souls watching me. And just this love frequency, a lot of people will put it down or say that it is nothing. What is self-love? Self-love is everything. So if you can do that, or try to do that for yourself every single day by treating yourself, by speaking your truths, and if people come to you asking about these things, or you want to talk to people about this, please do, because it will just awaken a lot more people. And I would just say, please get ready, because we're about to go into a big celebration. We're about to go into a massive evolution. It's not anything that you're not familiar with. If you're an old soul, you've been on this planet for a while. If you're a starseed, you've been on other planets that are highly evolved. So it's nothing to be afraid of. You are the frontier. You are the master. You are the ninja warrior. You are everything great in this world. So just continue to be great. Try to do your best to take care of yourself every day. Do not be swayed. Do not be emotional. Do not be reactive against what these small group of people are trying to do against us. And yeah, guys, I think I'm gonna end it here. Thank you for watching the Mystic Mischief podcast. This was episode 1. I'm Jerry. I'll see you guys later. Bye.